First up is Invert the Wing, who was really angry yesterday after the game. He says, I want Heung-min Son to start on the wing next game just to see that playing him number 9 is not the problem. What the problem is James Maddison's form and having no elite creators centrally. Pedro Porro has also experienced a significant dip. He is left isolated as a result and has to do everything himself. You play Kulusevski and Lo Celso and it is a different story. And I actually, for one, would like to see probably Maddison come out of the team for this game against Chelsea.
Well, considering Decky played quite well in the centre, and Maddison's form, I think, needs must at the moment. I think something's going on with Maddison. I don't know whether it's form or not. Maybe a position when he's coming off the bench against tired legs will be better for him at the moment.
Sonny Cho Joy says, when Sonny was about to take the penalty, Ben White came to shit talk, but Pape quickly ran over and blocked him off, and that was some great work from Pape Matar yesterday.
Get in, Pape, not taking anything from Ben White. And obviously it worked wonders, because what a penalty it was from Sonny.
Yeah. Dan Kilpatrick says, assuming Arsenal and City keep winning, City's visit to the Spurs on 14th of May is going to be so weird. Most of the home fans will presumably be desperate not to win. And yeah, and that's exactly where I'm at. I mean, don't let Arsenal win the league at all costs is what I say.
Yeah, it's going to be very strange. Let's hope it doesn't come down to that, but it's going to be, it looks like at the moment it is heading that way, so it's going to be a very weird game at the Tottenham Stadium. I do wonder what, I'm sure Andrew will say, I don't care I don't care about that. I don't care about Arsenal. I only want what's best for Spurs, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that'll be the party line from Spurs, but it's going to be interesting to see what the kind of atmosphere it is like in the stadium on the day.
Like, if Arsenal do keep winning and we do need to, lose to Man City, what do you reckon the reaction will be when if we go 1-0 up? Well, what will the reaction be if we go 1-0 down?
I don't know. Start cheering. I don't know. It'll be weird. It'll be good. I don't know. It's going to be very, very strange. It's hard to say exactly.
Professor Spurs or Prof Spurs says Heung-min Son is in the top 5 for goal contributions this season in the Premier League. Ollie Watkins sitting on top with 31, Cole Palmer 29, Erling Haaland 26, Mo Salah 26, and Heung-min Son on 25.
Yep. I think he's had a good season overall, Sonny, although definitely hasn't been the same, I feel like, since he's come back from the Asia Cup. I don't think he's been as good as he was before the Asia Cup. So I do hope that this isn't a sign of any decline or anything. I don't think it is, but obviously he's not improving, but I still think clearly he's got a lot to give, and those goal contributions prove it.
Next up is Sonny Choi, just showing that Pape protecting Heung-min Son again. Pape protecting Sonny during his penalty, making sure he has no distractions from the likes of Ben White. Ben White is such a shithouse, isn't he?
I can't stand that guy.
StatMuse FC saying most goals in a North London derby in a single Premier League season. Adebayor, Van der Vaart and Heung-min Son joins that list as well of 3 goals in a season.
Kane never got 3 in a season.
Yeah.
I guess he's limited to 2. Wow, fair enough. But well done, Sonny. He's also got a good record in North London derby, doesn't he?
Sonny, yes.
Very good record.
And as that shows, most goals in a single season in North London derby. Next up is Cock on Ball. He's replying to TNT Sports' tweet saying Ben White was spotted trying to loosen Vicario's glove on the corner. And he says this kind of antics need to be highlighted as much as possible. They are cheats.
100%. And Vicario should be highlighting it, making sure the ref knows what's going on. And he should be making sure that he's giving back to Ben White as well. I feel like he's just letting Ben White do what he wants without, giving any pushback, and that's the most frustrating thing.
And it just goes back to what Jose Mourinho said all those years ago in the Amazon documentary, doesn't it? You need to be a...
Exactly. I think we all know what he says next.
Spurs Forever says, who are they marking? And this is a freeze frame of the corner that they scored from. I think this is the one. Is this the one where Højbjerg scored an own goal from? Or no, it might be Havertz's one. I'm not sure. But I mean, I saw this live in front of my eyes and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then as soon as the corner gets taken, or just before, all these Arsenal players rush into the box. And our defenders, or every single Spurs player we had in box, just looked shell-shocked, didn't know what to do.
They also had one cleared off the line in the second half, didn't they? I forgot about that.
With Van der Ven.
Van der Ven cleared off the line. So, yeah, I think Arsenal knew exactly how we set up. They exploited that. They have this way of just... because if they do this, then it's very, very hard to pick up, because they're running from the blind side. So you kind of have to look at two places at once. You have to look at when the ball's being kicked, and you have to look at when these players are running, and it causes a lot of confusion. And it's a lot easier for Arsenal to get the run on you. And that's exactly why it's so effective. So we should have known that was coming. We should have planned for it, and we didn't. And that's on Ange.
Yeah. Couto Romero after the game says, head up and carry on. This is what it's all about sometimes. I'm more than ever with this team. We will work and finish the season in the best way. Thank you for always being fans, all together, always. And that's from Couto Romero. Lovely message after the game.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe when reading that. Like, some people thought he's doesn't care about Tottenham and all that kind of rubbish that people throw through.
He's the most coys out of everyone.
Come on, he's fully coys, Romero. Absolutely love him.
Coco says, this is Michael Oliver every time Arsenal commit a foul. And that's exactly what it felt like yesterday. And Michael Oliver, I mean, if he took off his referee jersey, he probably had the Arsenal one on the underneath.
And also, there was another thing. I think Arsenal made, where was it? Fouls. Where was that stat? Arsenal made, I can't see it now.
What, fouls?
Yeah. Arsenal made 16 fouls. We made 12. Yeah, we got 2 yellows and they got 1. Just goes to show, like...
And Arsenal made a lot more than 16 fouls.
Yeah.
A lot more.
And they could have given away a couple of penalties. The VAR situations as well were very annoying. So I thought, Michael Oliver did not have a good game, I thought, yesterday.
Yeah. Ron Hotspur says, all we ask for is consistency, and this is 24 hours apart pretty much. These two, well, less than 24 hours apart, really. And this was Chelsea and Villa, the goal that was disallowed, I think it was, in the last minute of the game. And this next one was Spurs' one.
Yeah, Van der Ven. Look, he's got 2 hands on his back and he's pushing him. And that's what I'm saying, like, the fact that it's so close... so close in date, like literally 24 hours later. Look, Bad Chile has 1 arm on him and it gets disallowed. Yeah, Havertz has 2 arms on him and they've got nothing to say for it. So it's very, very frustrating.
You know, like, I've always been of thinking this season that, you know, decisions are going to go for you, decisions are going to go against you. That's just the way it goes, right? But to have so many in one game, just like that was just too much. Like, how can you have so many in one game in such a game of this magnitude as well?
Makes it very hard to take.
Takes the piss. And Madders THFC first tweeted out saying robbed, and this is of the Kulusevski chance, the goal that they scored, the offside decision as well, which I probably thought the offside decision was right anyway. But then he quote retweets that and it says, how does it get worse?
Yeah, I would say about that one. So that was. So this was the. Okay, yeah, you get clipped. Yeah. How does it get worse? I do think that one was not a penalty, unfortunately, just because I think Partey does get a toe to the ball. But he's unlucky, Kulu, because he does get past Gabriel, and Gabriel brings him down. But luckily for Gabriel, Partey was able to get a touch on the ball, so it's not a foul. So very lucky.
Tom Mitch says, doesn't help when you're dealing with this level of officiating. And this freeze frame, the ball is nowhere near. Declan Rice kicks a lump out of Ben Davis. He goes down. Look at the view that Michael Oliver has. And he's like, nah, no penalty.
I couldn't quite believe it. And I remember at the time as well, the whole bench, the Spurs bench, up in arms. Like, how was that not given? And also, they didn't even have to wait for the ball to go out of play for it to go to a penalty. So... yeah, it was a clear penalty. And
yeah, I don't know if you saw Gary Neville's reaction to it live on air as well.
Yeah, I was watching the highlights and he said, oh, that's a penalty. Yeah, that's a penalty.
Carly T saying absolute robbery in response to Sunbleach saying the saddest part that now is we have to pretend we didn't just see Mickey pointing repeatedly to the badge when he scored that goal.
So annoying.
It was just a day of what could have been yesterday. That was really what it was. Fabrizio Romano says Postecoglou and Romero, outstanding World Cup winners mentality. I've got to get what's in him into some of the others. And who do you think he's alluding to when he says some of the others?
Maybe the players in midfield.
I think so. The Højbjergs, the Basumas, these kind of players.
Somewhere, yeah, exactly. So they have that mentality, that aggressive mentality, rather than sometimes just letting the players coast and not get stuck in and things like that.
Jacko says the biggest negative today was Maddison. When will he ever get back to his level? We're basically playing with 10 men. I'm expecting a lot more from him. We made him vice captain, and that is the effort of a North London derby. Disappointed once again. It's hard to disagree with that.
I was very disappointed with him, I have to say. I've been backing him up, and that was probably his worst display yet, and especially as he's just had 2 weeks as well to I don't know, get over whatever it may be, injury problems or fitness issues he's maybe going through, and he kind of served up a really bad performance. So it's an awkward conversation now for Thursday whether he starts.
Yeah, I don't think he should. Axel THFC saying, I've seen enough from this season. I just want to know Ange Ball is going to hit like the purest crack cocaine out there next season. And I'm sure it will.
100%. It's going to be you won't be able to get enough.
Alex THFC saying all in one season, which is unacceptable really, losing at home to West Ham, Chelsea and Arsenal. But I would say like we probably deserved more out of all three of those games.
Yeah, definitely should not be 3 losses. Obviously Chelsea were down to 9 men and 1 up. West Ham, we completely dominated that game, and then we made 2 individual errors, didn't we, and cost us. And obviously the Arsenal game was very, very fine margin. So I don't come away looking at those results thinking we deserve to win all of those. But when you lose all 3 of them, it's very, very frustrating.
Yeah. Ron Hotspur, Michael Oliver, when it's time to rob Tottenham. This is what it felt like yesterday.
Of course he did. When it's time to level the playing field in the title race, then he comes charging in. Oh, so frustrating.
Mikkel Moritzen says Tomiyasu clears the ball into his own player. How can it be offside? Can someone explain?
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about. It's like he has control of the ball. He tries to clear it and he clears it into an Arsenal player.
Yeah, but it's a debate whether if you clear it like that, are you in control, or is it? Because if he passes
that's what he means to do. He means to clear it up the pitch.
Yeah, I guess it's a subjective decision. You could argue he has control of the ball because he could have passed it. He could have, but then some people say if it's just a block, he's just trying to get in front of it. It's not he doesn't have control of the ball. So you can make a case for both, to be honest. But they fell on the fact that he doesn't have control. They say.
Of course they did. Chris Miller says, want a hot take? I wouldn't start Son or Maddison against Chelsea. I mean, I agree with Maddison, but I don't really agree with Son. I think Son should be starting against Chelsea, especially as Timo Werner's injured.
Yeah, if Timo's going to be out, I don't think we have a choice, really. Son has to start on the left. Obviously, I don't think he had a great game, to be fair, against Arsenal. I don't think that was totally his fault again, but I don't think he had a great game. But if he's... I don't want to see Johnson on the left.
Yeah, but I do think as well, if you put better creativity behind Son, you'll see a much better Heung-min Son.
Yeah,
I think that's just simple facts.
I agree with that as well.
Hotspur related, Ange on Tottenham today, we let the fans down.
Yeah, I think obviously that the emotions are raw after the defeat. But when you're 3-0 down, I think they were definitely in danger of it being an embarrassment, that's for sure. So at least that didn't happen.
Mickey van der Ven stopped that single-handedly, pretty much. Fans against VAR say that the offside law was never established to disallow goals for this gross misinterpretation of the law.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I just see so many goals now, and I'm not even just saying this just because of this goal. I've seen so many this season, which is like a hairline offside. I mean, that is not what the law was brought in for.
And also, if I looked at the line, I'm pretty sure they drew it at, I don't know who it is, at Saliba or Gabriel, but I'm pretty sure they drew it at his foot, where you can see his backside is a bit further out. And I don't think they drew it there when that's his furthest point. So I don't know, it's very, even that might maybe Van der Ven's ahead of it, but very, very frustrating how that goes against you. But that is the reality of offsides and VAR.
Yeah.
But this is, look at that image. That's what they're drawing to. You know what I mean? It's a guessing game at this point where the last point is. You know, it's like you're making millimetre decisions on that kind of image. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.